right. Well, hey guys, what's going on? It is Greg with Full Court Nerd, and this is, I guess, the first live video that I have ever done for you. Quite a busy Monday. Daylight savings just happened yesterday, obviously, and the Apple event, the Apple Watch, happened today too. So we're going to kind of dissect everything. It was about an hour and a half long event. I'm not going to take an hour and a half long. But really, there were four main points that they kind of hit on that I want to make sure that that we address in this instance or this video, just so I can kind of give you my opinions, and really we'll kind of go from there. So first off, the event started with, here I got the notes here. So it started off with the Apple TV, and if you've ever watched any of these events, they always talk about numbers and all this crap. But it's the Apple TV. There's nothing different about it. It's still the same specs. There's not a huge update or anything like that. But what they spent a lot of time on was HBO and HBO Now, which is their subscription service that is going to be, for the time being right now, it's going to be exclusive to Apple TV and iOS devices. So what that means is, I think, and I didn't write the dates down, but I think it's sometime in April that the service is going to be live. So you can pay $14.99 for $14.99 a month to go ahead and get HBO Now. You don't have to have a cable subscription, satellite subscription. You just need broadband and the service, and an Apple TV Now. And you can watch Veep, Entourage, Sopranos, Game of Thrones, which if you haven't done it, you and the other four people in the world really need to get on that, because that show is amazing. House Stark right here. Rob, right there for you, bro. Okay, right there. So that's really kind of the big thing that they brought up with the Apple TV. No mention if it works for the MacBook. All they mentioned was Apple TV for HBO Now and iOS devices. And the other thing that they mentioned with Apple TV is that it is going to be, I think it was $30 cheaper. So instead of it being $99, it is going to go down to $69. So if you have just purchased an Apple TV, or if you were just getting ready to sell your Apple TV, bad timing, I guess. Hold on. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. The next thing that they spoke about, honestly, to me, stole the show. It wasn't a product or anything. It was, they usually, let me preface this in case you don't notice, what they do when they're coming out with a new idea, let's say, as an example, let's talk about the watch. They came out with this watch kit for developers so that they can start developing apps for the watch. They came out with HomeKit so developers can develop ideas for smart homes and apps and that kind of thing. This one, they also came out with HealthKit too, so you can monitor your health and have all those apps in one type thing. So now you're going to have Research Kit. So what that's going to allow developers to do is, if you opt in, it's totally voluntary. You have control over what is given and how much is given. Apple never has control to this information, but they use your iPhone and they can get research about a number of different diseases. Example, I think they mentioned diabetes, heart disease, breast cancer. Oh, God, what the heck was the other one? Gosh, I can't remember, but they had a test where you can actually use an app to see how you're doing with this particular disease. And I got to tell you, the Research Kit, not even seeing a really a finished product, but Research Kit really stole the show for me. That alone is going to be Tim Cook's legacy with Apple, in my opinion. It's going to revolutionize medicine. It's going to revolutionize research, because if you think about it, research is only as good as the people participate. I think one ad in the video that they did today, they spoke about for breast cancer, they reached out to 60,000 or 63,000 people, and they got 300 back to do a research, and that's just a terrible number. If you can up that by any stretch of the imagination and get a better idea of what's actually out there, that's amazing. This potentially could, I'm not going to go as far as and say it like eradicate diseases, but I mean, it's really cool. The other thing with this, Apple tends to have everything kind of under their watchful eye, closed source. This is actually open source, so it's not something that only this handful of developers can do or whatever. It's open to whoever has basically a good idea to try to get something going. So good on you, Apple, for that one. I gotta admit, that's good stuff. All right, let me just drink a little bit of water here. I gotta say, this live thing is it's unique. I like it because I don't have to edit. So big fan of that. So the third thing that they talked about was a new MacBook. It's not a new MacBook Air, but it's lighter, it's thinner than the MacBook Air. But it's not a MacBook Air. Don't get it wrong. It looks like a great piece of technology, to be completely honest. It looks really cool. Would I ever get it? I don't know. Probably not. For me, what it is and what I need, just they're too far apart right now. So this is really a computer for all those people who want to be completely wireless. There's only one port on the left side that controls power, USB, HDMI, VGA, anything like that. One port for all of that. And on the other side, you have a headphone jack, so you can listen to headphones and whatnot. But yeah, so what frustrates me about that is, and I get it, there's a market for people who want to be wireless and Bluetooth headphones and everything like that. But for those who just want this computer because it's sleek, it's sexy, the trackpad is really cool, they've got to buy all this whole new attachment that goes into that port so you can go and rock a USB drive or a super drive or a monitor or something like that. I have two monitors that I hook up to my MacBook Pro Retina, and I just can't see it working for me. So I don't know. It could be for you. Yeah, that's fine. It could be for you. And like I said, it looks like a really cool machine, just not something for me right now. I'm kind of hoping that they don't go that way with the MacBook Pro, but who knows? I think we've almost officially seen the end of Apple making any computer with a disk drive installed into it. I think that's pretty much been, this is kind of like the last nail in that coffin, so to speak. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about that? Oh, that port, it's called a USB-C. So it's not proprietary to Apple or anything like that. And I learned proprietary from Shark Tank. Mark Cuban, if you're watching, you're not, but if you somehow were, love you. Robert Herjavec, I'm not Croatian, but I love you too. But like I said, it's got this USB-C. You still have to buy this accessory to plug into it. But yeah, like I said, not for me. It's got a Retina display. It's cool, whatnot. But what I'm actually surprised is that the MacBook Airs, they're not getting a screen improvement, or at least not as of yet, to a Retina display. So you're still going to have that point or that problem. And this new MacBook, I saw it started at almost $1,300 for, I think that was $256 if I'm not mistaken, for a solid state drive. But regardless, not for me. I kind of just didn't pay much attention to it. Now, the star of the show, the Apple Watch. I got to tell you, I was really excited back in, October, when they first announced it and kind of gave a little bit of a demo. And they kind of just relived that a little bit, so nothing really too fancy or anything like that. But I got to tell you, it was a little lackluster. We did find out some information. It's going to have an 18-hour battery life. Now, to me, that's completely fine because I'm going to be charging it, or I expect to charge it every night. Every Android watch I had, I needed to charge it every night, so that's not a big deal. As long as it gets me from point A in my day to point B, I'm completely fine. I don't need this 5 to 7 day charge that the Pebble can give me just because I want more functionality with it. So that's why I personally could care less about the battery. Now, I'm actually going to write something on the blog on why the watch battery itself is not really the one you even need to worry about. So be paying attention to that. Little teaser right there. Like I said, it's everything I thought it would be. We knew that there were going to be 3 editions, basically. The Sport Edition, it's going to be in the, how does Johnny Ive say it? The aluminum, yeah, okay. The aluminum case, it's a little bit better. There's this huge video on how badass their aluminum case was and everything, but what kind of, and it didn't even really catch me by surprise because we kind of knew the entry point was going to be $349 for the watch, and that's spot on. $349 is going to get you into the Apple Watch Sport. The pre-orders for all the watches are going to start on April 10th, and you can actually, so you'll be able to pre-order online, but you'll also be able to go into an Apple store and actually put them on your wrist and play around with them on April 10th as well. So that's pretty cool. The watch itself is going to launch on April 24th. Excuse me, I gotta. Whew, all right. It's live, baby. Excuse me. So April 10th, April 24th, that's when you can pre-order and actually go to the Apple Store and pick up the watches. Now, like I said, $349, that's going to get you the 38 millimeter watch. For the 42 millimeter, it's going to be an extra $50. That's pretty consistent all the way around. And the thing that I actually kind of like about the Sport is that price is pretty consistent. You're not going to stray away from that. But it actually comes with 2 bands inside of it. It's the only one edition, rather, that comes with the 2 bands. Now, when you move up to, what do they call it? The Apple Watch, the Apple Watch Collection. Those are the ones that actually have the steel casing, not the aluminum casing. Those, wow, that really took me back. I originally thought maybe I would want the black steel version, but that's over $1,000 for that. So no chance that's going to happen. Not going to pay $1,000 for a watch. And that may be a good market. I don't know. I don't really wear watches, so I don't want to spend that much money on something that I'm just kind of getting into, which I think a lot of people might fall into that boat, to be honest, but neither here nor there. But yeah, so the Apple Watch Collection, the steel ones, they basically, for that 38 millimeter, they range from $549 up to $1,049. And the 42 millimeter ranges from $599 to $1,100. So yeah, that was kind of a kick in the balls on that one, because that's kind of the one I wanted, but whatever. That's is what it is, I suppose, right? So now the one that everyone was kind of curious about was just how ridiculous is the Apple Watch edition, the gold one, actually going to be. And I thought, $3, $4, $5 in that ballpark. And man, I would have been off. Oh my gosh. Tim, he only mentioned one price, and he said $10,000 for the gold edition Apple Watch. And that's actually the low end for that. I went on their website because you can actually go on and kind of see where everything's at price-wise and how much the bands are. That's where Apple's going to make all their money, by the way, is off the bands. Because I think I saw one for like $250, one for $150. The little, like, not rubber, but the sport bands are like $50. Absolutely ridiculous. If you can hold off, if you need to get the watch, get it. But if you can hold off for third-party developers and designers to create their own bands, highly recommend, because that's only going to bring everything's price down. So do that. But I went on before this video went live. Apple has one watch that is seriously, it's $17,000. I don't know. I can't fathom that. That might be, for that price point, might be okay. But the only thing that's actually gold is the watch, the face of it. Not the face, but the casing of it. Everything else is like leather, or that entry point, $10,000 watch entry point, have the rubber band. Why would you want a rubber band with a $10,000 watch? I don't get it. But if you are so inclined, they are limited. Best of luck trying to get those. I honestly think, and I don't think it's any surprise, but the watch, the Apple Watch Sport, that's going to be the hot seller. The price point's there. I don't mind that it's $100 more than any other smartwatch out there now. Like, I think, what is it? The Moto 360 Steel, $299. So I don't mind that this is $100 more, because it does do more. I can take phone calls on this. I can't on the Moto 360. So I don't mind that per se. But at the same time, we will really see how it goes and whatnot. The big pull for me is the health aspect. I'm very curious to see how that goes. Typically, for me, things kind of motivate me to get out if it's cool and trendy and whatnot. So I'm excited to play around with it and actually get it. And hopefully the pre-order process is a lot easier, so I don't have to wait outside. But it will be warmer, so I'm not going to be too upset if I have to wait outside again. But so that's my take. Again, the Apple Watch, meh. I'm going to get one. I've wanted one since they announced it. But it's kind of a meh for me. I was whelmed today. The new MacBook, whatever. It is what it is. Apple TV, that's cool. I already pay for HBO, so I don't need this. I'm glad that they lowered the price, because that makes it more competitive to Google. What the heck is it called? Chromecast. Love Chromecast. We have one on each of our TVs, and it is amazing. But like I said, Research Kit wasn't a sexy thing, wasn't an exciting thing for a lot of people, but that's going to be the thing that revolutionizes the world, medicine, Apple, everything. So kudos to Apple, its team, for creating that. But yeah, so that's my reaction. I don't know if, let's see. This is my first live video, so let's see if anyone is on here. No, doesn't look like it. That's fine. Oh wait, here, chat. There we go. All right. Cool. Thank you guys for watching or checking it out on the back end. If you're checking it out, I certainly do appreciate it. Thank you for all of your likes. Now, I actually have a what's in the box to film after this, so I will leave you to your day. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Till then, see you on the green.